Right. Welcome to Edulink. See, I'm fumbling all around. Edulink Connect. This is the first session for Edulink Connect. So we will be getting started in no time. Yes. Warm welcome to today's session. Actually, being the first session, we know obviously not many can make it. But just so you know, this session is recorded, and we will share it, so everyone can also have a review of it later on. So for your consent, I'll be passing this on quite often, for the session is being recorded. So let's get started. First, I'll begin by introducing myself, but I would like to show this on screen. That's the Edulink Connect. This is a brand new. Sorry, I'm not sure that is sharing on the Google Meet. Let me share that quickly. Window. Right. How do I share that? Okay. Right. Let's share tab. That's it. Right. So this is our first session we are actually setting up for Edulink Connect. 1 second. People are in the room. Let's see if we're gonna allow them in. Right. So again, today I think the sound is a bit high. Let me reduce the volume slightly. Good. Just for the recording sake, it's gonna have this background sound. So yeah, we are getting started. Actually, you know what? Let me just pause it. Yep. Right. So today is the first session for Edulink Connect, and Edulink Connect aims to provide a linkage for Edulink Ghana Network system users. So this is a whole setup thing that Edulink Ghana Network team is bringing on board. That's Benoji's innovations. Sorry. So we are bringing this on board to help our clients, staff, and administrators to get hands-on experience with Edulink. So through this Connect system, we will be sharing tips and tricks about how to, go about using the system effectively. So today marks the beginning of Edulink Connect. So that's the whole aim of Edulink Connect. So we'll be sharing tips and tricks about how to use the system. Not only that, going forward, we'll be adding other extra tips that is going to enhance the educational, how do I put it? The entire educational system flow. So we're sharing, so we're going to have, like, ideally, we'll be learning through this. And then we'll have the chance to also connect. So this will be another source of building a network around education in Ghana generally. So today's session is going to be how to effortless manage attendance and then mark Canteen. So we are just going to straight dive into staff portal. Basically, this is for the staff generally. So I'll start by introducing myself. So stop screen sharing. That's it. So I am by the name Benjamin Osri, and that is Nana Boachi Yadom. That's why I'm called Nabi. And I am a lead software engineer for Benoji's Innovations, the brilliant team that brought up this Edulink Ghana Network system. So I'm a software lead engineer as well as a co-founder of Benoji's Innovations. So I'll be your host for this first session of Edulink Connect. Going forward, we aim to be doing Edulink Connect every 2 weeks. So you'll be seeing other members of the team. Yeah, so for today's session, we're just gonna again go into how to efficiently manage attendance. If you follow the tips we are going to show, ideally within 5 minutes, when you open your mobile phone to use the system, you're supposed to be done with attendance marking very quickly. And then also the canteen, we will show you how to quickly do it, just so you save time, you'll be able to focus on other academic activities you have to do running for your day. So let's get started. I'll start by sharing screen, and I'll be doing this in multiple ways. That's showing you how first we'll go through using the desktop view, and then finally I'll show you how you'll be doing the same thing on a mobile phone. So the aim is within 30 minutes we are supposed to be done. Max by 30 minutes we are supposed to be done. Again, this session is recorded, and after the recording session we'll be sharing it, just so we can also have, but it's good if you make it to these sessions, you have the chance to network, and then you have the chance to learn more as well, and then you have, again, ask questions, and then we'll take your feedback to help improve and enhance the system. Again, we're all trying to make the education system better. Right, so I'll start by sharing screen onto the right, so that's it. I believe my screen is visible. Yep. So this is the main homepage as usual, system.edulinkghana.net, system.edulinkghana.net. That's where the entry gateway. So you go ahead and you enter your school code, and it takes you to your school subdomain. If you know your school subdomain, you just go ahead and you enter your school subdomain straight. You don't need to go through this. So let me just go ahead and enter the demo. Edulink Ghana Network demo. That's it. So now it takes me to the demo network section on the entire Edulink Ghana Network. So again, we are going through how to effectively mark attendance quickly, and then how to effectively also mark canteen, or collect canteen, in other words. So to collect canteen as well. Just to keep the flow going, I'm just going to put a little bit of sound, just for the recording sake, a little bit of sound beneath the scene, right? And that also help reduce the distraction of noise in the room. So bear with me with that. Just gonna reduce the volume for that, but that should be fine. Right, good. Okay, so let's get on to that. Right, so how do you effectively mark attendance? So you go ahead and you log in as staff. Sorry, 1 second. That's EST. I hope this is the right user account I'm using. 1297. Bear with me. Hopefully it logs in. Let me pick the staff account quickly. 1 second. Whoa. Sorry. EAD. Let me pick that quickly from the admin section. Human resources staff. Right, let's log in as this staff member. So log out, and then log in as staff. I enter my staff ID, enter my password. Boom, I log in. So now when you log in and then you want to mark attendance, how do you do it quickly? So after logging in, you head into students. That's the second menu. So you head to students, mark attendance. So students, mark attendance. And by default, the system is going to pick the classes you teach, or you have been assigned as a class teacher. Sorry, not the classes you teach. The class you handle as a subject, as a class teacher. So these are for class teachers. Those are the ones that mark attendance. So when you're marking attendance, you could be teaching, you could be assigned to more than one class. So make sure you select the appropriate class By default, the system picks the first class that you are assigned to, and then you select the date you are marking attendance for. So say I'm marking attendance for Tuesday, the day we reopen school, Tuesday, May 6th, 2025. I'll go ahead and search, and now that's gonna show me the list of the students I have in my class. All of them. I think the attendance for 6 has already been marked, so let me pick another date, the one that's not marked. Right, this is not marked. So how was I able to know it's marked? So if I pull the previous date, as you can see, the present and absent are already set there, so it means it's marked. So that's why I'm picking to the next one, just so I'll show you how you can quickly do this. So how do you mark it quickly? Right, so the manual way we used to do this is, what we normally do is we pick the register, we start mentioning students' names, isn't it? That's the norm. That's what we knew, right? Good. So with this new system, how can you do it effectively and quickly? So to do that, one thing you can do, sorry, I'll be going back and forth into the meeting because someone is in. I need to attend with the person. Sorry. Any of the team members in? Can you assist with that? That'll be very helpful. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Let me move on to the presentation. That's it. So how do you quickly mark the attendance? Very quickly, without wasting too much time. So by default, we used to be taking the manual way. You pick your register. So say Abri Prince, present sir, and then we do tick. John Achampon, present sir, and you do it. Cool. You can do this barely in 2 minutes. How? But with this tip we're about to share, you need to actually know for sure that these students are present and not. So a quick way we normally even do with our manual thing is, as a class teacher, you know your students, isn't it? So if someone is absent, you can definitely tell. Very easy. So a quick way to do this is, instead of mentioning their names and putting them to present one after the other, what you can do is you put them all to present. But please, this is a tip we are sharing. You need to go through whatever we are discussing here, just so you don't miss any step in it. So put all to present. And then you go through, you start mentioning their names. Abri Prince, the moment the person responds present, you leave it. You keep on mentioning their names. You mention their names. Until when you mention the other, let's say, Mensa Papa Kwame Nyame, it's absent. You just move it to absent. That's it. So instead of mentioning their names and taking present for each one of them, you can put all of them to present, and then the ones that are absent, you just be taking them to absent. This is super fast. Within 2 minutes, you could be done. That is a very quick tip there. So if you want to mark attendance quickly without wasting too much time, again, you go to students, you go to mark attendance, you select your class and date, you search, click all present, and then you go through the ones that are absent. You go ahead and you put them to absent. The ones that are absent, you go ahead and you put them to absent. Sure. And then once you're done, you go ahead and press record. And then that's it. Successful. Attendance recorded successfully. Voila. There you go. 2 minutes. You're done with your attendance for the day. You carry on with other activities you have to do. One more thing. It looks like the record attendance is a bit hidden. Sometimes, especially on a mobile view, it will be annoying when you see this chat thing overlapping with it. Yeah, we'll be working on that. It will be better if we move it to the other side so it doesn't interfere. So probably we are going to move it there so that it frees that space there. But a good tip is, I'm going to zoom in just to show you. You can close that yellow. Quick question, we are here. When I try to zoom in, you see there is this close sign there. Just tap on it and that one will go, and then you will have only the circle thing there, which gives you free space that you can see the buttons there. Right, so whenever you see that, you just click that to hide that, and then yeah, there you go. You are done with that day. You can go ahead and mark the other days. So say we go into Thursday. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let me share the entire screen and let's time ourselves to know that indeed we can do this within the minutes we are saying we're going to do. So I'm going to stop sharing. 1 second. I'm going to pull out my clock. Then we're just going to put timer on. Let's see how fast we can do this. And we are going to go through all the list. There's not going to be something we're just going to do, not going through. So 5 minutes. Cancel. Stopwatch. Good. I'm going to use stopwatch here. Right. We reset it. Now I'm going to share my entire screen. Share screen. Window, entire screen. Right, let's share this screen. Great. Right, so I believe my screen is supposed to be live now. Is it? Right. It's now on. Good. So we started a timer. 2 minutes. We are supposed to be done with marking attendance. Let's go. So say we log in. Right? We start our timer. Start. So we go to students, mark attendance. We select a class. We select the date. Let's say we are marking for Thursday. We search for it. Again, what's the first tip? After seeing all your students, put them all to present. There you go. You start mentioning their names. Abre Prince, present. Echampon John, present. Ado Prince, absent. Frifa Roland, absent. I wish I could go through all of that. But you get the gist. Yeah, if I'm to skip, it's just going to be barely some few seconds to get this done. But that's the whole idea. And then you can leave them there. Right? So let's say the remaining ones are all present. Just so I'm just going to beat the time. So record attendance. Boom. I'm done. It took me 54 seconds to finish recording my attendance. And that is how easy it is. So for the previous days that we've not marked the attendance, maybe because we might be, most of the schools got their training last week, so probably going into next week, you can quickly mark the ones that you did manually in your attendance book by selecting the date, and you'll be entering them. Right, this you can use barely 10 minutes to finish all that if you go through this quick tip we just shared. Another way, if you don't want to go all present, just so you be cautious, you can put it to all absent, and then you'll be doing your present. Yeah, that's it. So that's how quickly you can do this. Yeah, I believe it was very, very handy and quick. Now, after marking the attendance, this view attendance report becomes very handy when we are getting closer to the end of term. So say we are like 2 weeks away from vacating, just so you have an idea about your students' performance in terms of attendance as a class teacher. This is very, very handy. And you can use this to communicate to the school administration to help give the help needed for a student. A student might be outperforming or performing, the performance might be low. It might be due to attendance, and you can use the report to tell, like, he has not been coming to school. Ideally, you can even focus on the percentage rate, which is very good. You don't have to be checking the number of days present and absent. Just look at the percentage rate. So, like, the person is 80%, which is not bad. Like 50%, that's why he wasn't underperforming. Yeah, this help is the reason behind maybe the fallbacks in the students' performance for the term. And then through this, we can liaise with the guardians and the parents to make good decisions on that. Right. So that's how you can do the attendance. Quick. Finally, we'll move on to, because the session for Edulink Connect today is about attendance and canteen. So the attendance is that easy. Now we move on to the canteen, which is a bit tricky. We do understand. So for today's session, it's very good, but we are coming in with another surprise, because we've saw the pain and the kind of feedback we got from client schools and the things that could help improve. Again, this system is for the people, so we take your feedback into considerations, we make it better, and it helps all of us. It makes our work very easy as teachers. Most importantly, effective and efficient. So marking Canteen or recording Canteen, how do we do that? Let's get onto that. So once you log in, you come to finances. That's the fourth menu, the one that looks like a wallet. Actually, it tells you money stuff. So that's where you find finances. So you log in, you come to finances, and that's the first one you see. But this is only applicable to class teachers. Again, only class teachers have access to submit Canteen. So until you're a class teacher, or you need to have that class teacher role, and the school administration do assign these roles. So as a class teacher, you go to finances, submit students Canteen. So how do you go about the Canteen submission? So this is the new changes we've made, and I'm going to go through that to explain how it works. Again, just like the attendance, you select your class, you select, the system picks the active term for you automatically, and now you just go ahead and select the date you are submitting the Canteen for. So you are going to collect the Canteen, and then you submit it. So say Monday 5th, when we collected the Canteen, we go ahead and then we search. Now this is going to show whether we've collected it already and not submitted it. I repeat that, whether you've collected it already and not yet submitted. This shows you a list of all the Canteens you've collected. So as you can see, this one have been marked like all collected. That's why the payment status is paid and the amount they paid. So we have recorded this already. So let's pick one that we've not recorded. That will be very handy if we can go through that. Right. So let's go on to the SIS. The SIS has not been paid except this advance payer. I will explain that later. Right. So how do we record it? You search for it, it will show all unpaid. All your students have not paid, so you are now coming to collect. You see the green button there, add new Canteen. So you click on it, it's going to show this modal for you. Select student. You click on it, it's going to list all your students there for you. So again, you go through the routine mentioning their names. Abri Prince, and it shows you the child or the student. And you can see over here the current class, the Canteen bill, that's the amount they have to pay. And then this question, pay in advance. So if the student is paying in advance, you select yes. And then you enter the advance days. Remember, the advance days should include the day you are submitting the Canteen. So say this is Tuesday and the student is paying up to Friday. The total advance days should be 4 days, because Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is 4 days. So you put 4 there. Right? So let's say the student is paying in advance 4 days. We will put 4 days there. And then we go ahead and we click add. That's it. Canteen recorded. If you look at the foreground, you can see it has been checked as paid. Now when you go to select the students, that student is no more in the list. This is very, very handy. It tells you the ones you've not collected. So the moment you add, it removes from the list. You add, it removes from the list. You add, it removes from the list. So let's go ahead and add more. This student didn't pay advance, he just paid 1. So just for the day, go ahead and do for the others. This student, no advance. This student, no advance. Next student, let's say advance. He also paid for 4 days. You add it. You select it. But keep an eye also on the total expected amount. So if the student is not paying in advance, probably you're supposed to pay 6s. So that's the amount you're supposed to collect from the student. Now say the student is paying in advance for 4 days. The system does a computation for you. It tells you 4 times 6, 24. You're supposed to pay 24 cedis. So you collect 24 cedis and you add it. That's it. So you keep on adding until you are done. Now when a student did not pay or is not present, don't add it, because remember it has already been ticked here that they are unpaid. So you are only adding the ones that have paid. If the student didn't come to school or did not pay the Canteen, you don't have to add that student as paid. So let's assume these were the only students that came to school that very day and hence paid the Canteen. The remaining ones they did not pay, whether they were absent or they did not come to school, something like that. So after doing this quick selection and adding it, we are almost done. Almost. Finally, you come all the way down there and you click proceed to record. This is where the entire work lies. Now, all the collections you've recorded, the system shows you the amount you are supposed to submit to the accountant. So it tells you the number of students in the class, 32, those who paid, excluding advance payers. So 5 students paid, and total advance payers were 4, and the number of days they paid in advance is 12. So doing the entire math, you're supposed to have 102. If you want to double check this, you can do this yourself. As you try it twice, 3 times, and you see like, everything is all good, I think you obviously stop. Yeah, because again, this has been tested and it works, and it works very well in terms of the computation. And again, it tells you those who didn't pay, so the unpaid students, you have them as well. And then you go ahead and you submit. Boom, you are done. Let's move all the way to the top. Once you submit it, you see the button you used to add is gone, and now you're having this information. This canteen has already been submitted. Please contact the accountant for any changes needed, or whoever handles the school canteen submission. So once you submit your canteen, please bear in mind, if you want to make any changes, you need to go to the account office, and then you explain themselves. The administrators over there will do the changes for you. So when you're adding it, please make sure you are really doing it correct. And this saves time a lot. Yes, a lot, especially when you are submitting it and it tells you the total figure. Now all you have to do is you make sure the amount you are having in hand is the same as the one that is showing here as total to be submitted. And it saves time when you get to the accounts office, because by the time you go there, they can also see all that you've done. So it's just, how much are you supposed to give me? They know. You give their money to them, you return back to your work, and you proceed with other academic activities. It's not easy. Very easy. Right, so again, you go ahead and you do for the rest. The following day, you do the canteen collection. But those who paid in advance, again, remember, those students have already paid. So when you go to add, they are not going to show because they have already paid. So advance payers will not show. You just go ahead and add those who are not paid in advance. And if the person didn't come to school, you just don't add the person. And then the system does everything also for you. And it makes canteen collection very easy. Very easy and straightforward. So that's how easy you can go about it when you want to do group collection. Like all of them, you're submitting all of them at a go. That's the group collection. Now you also have the option of doing it one by one, which is a bit tedious. Yep. It's this portion is much more should I use the word accurate? In terms of comparing that to the group, you're going to this one carries a higher accuracy probability compared to that one. Because with this you have to do it individually, one by one. All your students one after the other. So like Adam, you can do for Adam one by one. We have already paid for him. And you can even use this to check the students whom you have collected the canteen for the day. If you don't want to use it to submit, just so you know, okay, this student, has he paid or not? You can use this to check. But if you want to also submit it one after the other, you have the option of using this. But we do recommend using the group collection. It's very fast. And I believe most of us are going to use that, by the way. Right. So yeah, that is a quick summary to our Edulink Connect today. I've already lost my 30 minutes. So what I will do now is stop screen sharing and take any questions, if any, and feedback of helping improve the system. If you have any suggestions, this is the time you're going to ask questions, and any suggestions that you likely want to ask, you go ahead and you ask it. So I'll stop presenting. If you have any question, please first raise your hand just so we don't collide, and then we're going to call you and you go ahead and ask your question, please. If you want to raise the hand, you down there on your phone, you will see right. You see the reaction and the hand up. All right, Mr. Mensa, please. Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Thanks for this summary. In fact, it has helped me. My question is the canteen collection.
Right.
We were using 6 cities as an example, right?
Yes.
Let's assume there are some students who pay, let's say 3 cities. That's half of the actual amount.
Right.
To record it.
Right. As a follow-up question to your question you are asking, is it administration have approved, like they have a discount in the canteen payment? Is that so?
Sure.
Right. So at this very moment, it doesn't handle it from that sense. Are you with me, please?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
So yeah, with that, we're actually going to add that on, and we're going to pass that training on to the school administration about how to put discounts that are being applied to the canteen payers of, mostly it applies to school fees, which the system allow, but it could also be applying to canteen as well. So again, we are going to add that. So this is something we need to look into. So discount for canteen collection, but at the very moment, it doesn't allow canteen discount collection. Yes. So what I will encourage, let me share screen one more time. Where's my screen again? Entire window. Okay, let's go there. Let's see. Right. So when you are collecting, I ideally use a single collection for those students. So say this student is with that applicable discount. We are going to give that training to the school administrators as well. And what you have to do is you have to pass the comments there. So say half payment or discount payment, any of that. And when it gets to the accountant section, he has the option of modifying the payments that comes in. So I believe they can do that changes from that end. But for staff at this very moment, the only thing you can use to pass that information on is by adding a note to that. But again, we are going to look into that and possibly enhance the system to do that. Oh dear. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think we got a technical issue there. Sorry. Sorry. Someone just snatched my account. The person logged in with the account. 1 second. All right, there you go. I don't know where you heard me up to. Mr. Mensa, can you hear me?
Please, I'm hearing
Yeah. So what I was saying is, use the note section under single collection to pass that note, like half payment, or you can put something like, if it's 3 cities payment, that note is going to be shown in the accountant section. Again, the accountant has the option of editing these figures that comes to them. So if it needs to be changed, they will change it from their end. And then, yeah. But at this very moment, from the staff end, it's not available. But again, we are going to look into that just so it's smoothing the operation for you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you. Any other questions? Anyone with a question, suggestion? You could raise your hand, and yeah, we'll give you the chance to ask your question. Suggestions of improvement, anything like that? Right. I believe we're almost through with it. So yeah, again, we host these sessions every two weeks. So the next session will be coming off in the next 2 weeks. That's probably around 31st. That will be 31st. So by 31st, it's going to be our second session, and you're going to love it. How you are going to use the Edulink system like a mobile application on your phone. That's what the session is going to cover, and how to go about securing your account. Yeah, so we will send that invitation as well. If you are not on the WhatsApp channel, we sending the channel link to the chats now. Make it a point to join the channel. That is where we share almost all updates regarding the system and the services and everything. So please, if you are not on it, we highly encourage that you join the channel. You can also follow any of our social media platforms. We pass on all our updates, so everyone have access to that. Yes, so we are still on Q&A sessions. If anyone has any questions regarding what we've went through, the session was recorded, so just in case you missed it, we will share the recordings on the channel. So if you are not on the channel, please join the channel. You have access to those recordings, and then you watch it. 1 second, I'm trying to put the link into the chat room right now for you from the Google Meet chat, so you have access to it. 1 second. 1 second. Right. Okay. So we copy the link right into the chat. Right. So it has been pasted onto the chat now. If you check the Teams chat, you'll see the link there. If you are not in the on the channel platform, please do so. So you'll be able to have full access to the system and every update that we hope to do so. Right. We have in our midst Mr. I'm not getting the announcement right. Gideon, if you could unmute and pass this on. We would like to address hello, Gideon. Right, I think. Yeah. Please go on.
I wanted us to acknowledge the presence of our fighter, but look like his network links and he just left.
Right.
Doctor Tada from Akitab. He's a fighter for Akitab, but look like he just left.
Right. Cool. When
doctor comes in back, I think I'll notify you, and then we can acknowledge doctor in that respect.
Sure. Mr. Enoch, Mr. Gideon, Mr. Majid, and everyone who made it to today's Edulink Connect. We highly appreciate your time you dedicated to this. Again, these sessions are not going to take too much time. We are going to be holding them every two weeks. The next session is coming off 31st. Please make it a point to join. We're going to show tips and tricks on how to use the system effectively, as we did today, and it's going to be recorded. We're going to share it. We can also have a look at it later on to help maximize our efficiency and usage of the system. Right. If no more questions, I believe that will call to the end of today's session. We really appreciate your attendance, and the next Edulink Connect session is coming off on the 31st, same time, 8 p.m. That will be on Saturday. So yes, please, we will look forward to see you in the next session. Again, the recording is going to be made ready. In the chat room, you saw the link to join the channel page. If not already, please do so that you will have access to all these information and resources we do share. Right. Thank you very much. My name is Benjamin Otri, known as Nabi. And again, till we meet on the next session, have a great evening. Bye. Sorry, Mr. Otri. It looks like you came in late. Sorry about that. But don't worry. I believe you are on the WhatsApp channel, aren't you?